Greetings, fellow YouTubers, and happy full moon, happy blue moon. And for those of us in the northern hemisphere, happy Lammas. I think that's how you pronounce that. I just wanted to throw up this quick video before the moon comes up this evening. So, I have several things going on. Lots of plans, lots of things, especially over here and over here, that I'm going to ask the moon to kind of bless and sanctify for me, some future workings that I'm planning. So the first working that I'm planning is actually a 3-day cleansing ritual. And I got this idea after watching Crystal Ravenrose's video on unjinxing or uncrossing yourself. And I don't think I've necessarily jinxed or crossed myself. This is mostly just a kind of a cleansing ritual that my husband and I are going to do before I go back up to Massachusetts. So, just a quick recap. My husband, he's a graduate student down here in the south, but I'm a graduate student up in the northeast, in Massachusetts. So we've been able to have a beautiful summer together, but unfortunately that summer is coming to an end. So I have to kind of mentally prepare myself to be in that long distance state again. We got through my first year of my PhD program up there, and which was also our first year of marriage. So we spent most of our first year of marriage apart, which sucked a lot. But we got through it. So this is year number 2, and hopefully this will be his last year of his PhD, and it'll be the second year for me up there. So hopefully, fingers crossed, you know I'm going to be doing a lot of witchy work when it comes time for him to be applying for jobs, and hopefully he'll find one up there so we can finally be together again. Anyway, so we're kind of trying to mentally, spiritually, emotionally prepare ourselves for that separation. And so I figured, you know, let's just wash off all the stress and anxiety that we still have left over from last year. So I have 7 ingredients here, so kind of going down the hoodoo conjure route. I bought rosemary, and this is for an herbal bath, by the way. So rosemary, rosebud petals, which I've watched a video by the Lady Grave Dancer where she talks about how roses can be a protective herb. So rosemary to me is for setting up boundaries and for some serious protection, like laying down the lines, you know, so bad energy cannot cross it. Roses kind of feel the same way for me, and they also kind of have that more sweeter, gentler, protective energy, that energy of a mother kind of thing. So I also have dried ginger, eucalyptus leaves, kind of the same idea as the ginger, cleansing and invigorating and strengthening. Basil, sweet basil, because basil to me is an herb of prosperity. So if we're going to do a lot of protective and cleansing work, why not throw in a little prosperity, because Lord knows we need it. Cinnamon, definitely a protective spice. This is actually wormwood, and I've had wormwood tea before, and I like the effects. It is extremely bitter, and so that bitterness to me is also protective, but it's also cleansing. So I'm not going to be ingesting this, and you know, do your research before you ingest any type of plant, especially things like wormwood. So that's one thing. These herbs, I'm going to ask for some blessings from the moon tonight to get her energy, or his energy on there. I'm also going to ask for some blessings on these candles. These candles here are the candles that we always have in stock, or that we always have like burning. My altar always has a Guadalupe candle for the sacred feminine, a St. Michael candle for the sacred masculine, and a Holy Spirit candle for the Ancient One, or for that unifying principle that connects, and works with the duality. So, and if you've seen my videos on the order and chaos, you'll know what I'm talking about. We also always have a purple candle going. Here it is here, and this will be the new one for when that one runs out. Purple candles, for me, we light it right before going to bed to help us sleep. But it's also, purple for some reason reminds me of the subconscious, or I guess like shadow work and things like that. So I also use purple candles or darker colored candles for that. And green, that's our prosperity spell that we always have going. Prosperity, not just financial prosperity, but good health. Just making sure everything stays positive. So those are the candles. Went ahead and stocked up on some of those, so I'm going to ask for some blessings on that. These two little guys are going to be my actual working candles for the ritual tonight. White, not only for cleansing and purity, but the light of the moon. And red, because if you think about this, at least in the northern hemisphere, this is early harvest time, but late summer, and the sun, I kind of envision it as we approach winter. It's like the sun is continually going into the west, like disappearing, going into that winter darkness. So the west I always associate with the color red. I know not everybody has the same color associations, but this is what works for me. Red sky at night, sailor's delight kind of thing. Just the color of the setting sun. And so since we're in late summer, this is the color of the setting sun for me. So I just wanted to get those two candles. Those will be my working candles for today. I have here my favorite incense of all time so far. I get this incense at a store called Earth Fare. It's kind of like a Whole Foodsy place downtown, and it's frankincense, myrrh, and sandalwood, and this just has such an earthy, delicious scent. So I'm going to be burning this incense along with those candles, those two working candles. I got my sage, I got some of my crystals. These are my two quartz crystals that we always put at the center of our crystal grids. This is my amethyst. And this isn't a crystal, it's made of glass, but if you saw my grandmother's heirlooms haul video, this was my grandmother's, and I do plan on practicing some scrying and some divination with it, because you can put a string through here and make it into a pendulum, or I think it would make a beautiful tool for scrying, especially if you try to stare up at the full moon through the crystal and do some scrying. I also have these two bullet cases. If you've seen my witchy haul of my grandmother's heirlooms, that video that I posted I think last week or the week before. But anyway, you'll know that my grandfather in Kentucky passed away in June, so these are actually two bullets from his funeral, from his burial, because he had a military burial. So these are two bullets from the 21 gun salute, and so because his death is still still fresh on our minds, I just wanted to take these out there and let his memory be a presence during the ritual. And just, just ask the moon to help him find peace, but also help me find peace with it, I guess, if that makes sense. Oh, I also have our favorite piece of selenite here to cleanse us. And these are my grandmother's tarot cards, which I have inherited. So I'm going to take this out there. I don't think I'll be doing any readings tonight, because it is a full moon, and I always think of kind of divination activities are associated with the new moon for me. But just to get, you know, the moon's blessing, since I did just recently inherit these tarot cards. They were kind of lost in a drawer for the past 15 years in my grandparents' house, and now that my parents are cleaning out the house and getting ready to sell it, they found these for me. So yeah, these are my grandmother's tarot cards from 1972, which is one of my most cherished possessions from her, these cards. So just more blessings on those. And finally, this beautiful bowl. This was actually a wedding gift present. If this doesn't scream blue moon, I don't know what does. It's just gorgeous. So I'm actually going to be blessing or collecting some moon water in this bowl. So I've talked a lot about, you know, a lot of things that I'm going to ask the moon for, or ask the moon to bless. So what am I going to give back? Oh, sorry, my Pandora is talking. So I do believe in sacrifice, like giving back, not just asking like, please help me, me, it's all about me. No, it's about worshiping and being appreciative of what we already have before we ask for more. My Pandora is still talking. Anyway, that's annoying. So anyway, because this is, at least Lammas, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, which is tomorrow, that is the first harvest festival. And whenever I think of harvest, I think of wheat and wheat products. So I do plan on leaving out some bread offerings. This is homemade bread that we make every week. And kind of along that lines, some libation, liquid bread. This is a great German beer that we've been a fan of recently. So that'll be, you know, the liquid offering. And I also want to offer this dollar bill. This is a St. Jude candle. I have a short little video on my channel about how we use this candle, but basically St. Jude, this candle was used for times of desperation, like when you really need help. And we use this candle on behalf of my husband's brother, because my husband's brother was unemployed for over a year, and he just had his second child, or his wife did, in January. So having 2 kids and a wife and, you know, being unemployed for over a year, that's some desperate times. So we actually use this candle and we put it on top of that dollar bill to help my brother-in-law find a job, and he did. I think last month or a few weeks ago, he actually got a job. So that dollar bill, I think, deserves to be part of this offering. I'm just going to leave it out there with the beer and the bread, and if a bird uses it to make its bird nest, that's fine. If someone picks it up, I just brighten their day. So I'm going to use that dollar as an offering because it helped my brother-in-law, you know, get a job. So yeah, those are tonight's witchy plans, and I think this video is long enough. Happy blue moon, everybody, and many blessings. Have a great night. Bye.